a little bit more quickly. So this will turn into game 1 of the series. In the top right-hand side, representing ONSYDE, it is going to be Maru. Takes on the red Protoss. In the bottom left-hand corner, this is MaxPax. Alright, so we will have Percival Cristiana in a little bit instead, guys. Obviously, currently lagging. Hopefully give it a, sometimes even like 20 minutes, maybe the lag just disappears for Cristiana and it's just fine. So maybe even just after this game we can go back to it, or if not, we can continue through some other games until it's ready. Percival has to play the 2v2 later anyway, so it's not like he's being kept up by this at least. I mean, it's not ideal, I can't really do anything else to fix it. We just gotta try and move on. Because at least, unlike in a traditional best of 7, we can actually kind of play other games, so we can somewhat not let the schedule get put into absolute terror. More terror than it already is. Alright, Rex, Engineering Bay, gas going through for a couple moments. So we set this up. Take a moment or so to get everything underway and start it off. Pro's going to nibble at the SCV. Actually kills the SCV, trying to Engineering Bay block him, so... That is an SCV down. Usually the SCV at least survives this. First is going to nibble. It's going to be seeing the Engineering Bay going down for a couple of moments. It's going to clean that up. Again, Orbital coming through. And the Marine and so coming about right now as well. Alright, CC and the Reactor coming by. Again, Cybercore and the Nexus coming up as well. Just bringing those about. And the game will open quite normally then. Obviously, this is Celestial, kind of a sizable map. You've got that in-base expand to kind of touch on later, but nope, neither player will touch it on the initial expansion. So, just going to take the more normal, kind of low-ground natural. And we'll, like I say, look toward the in-base later. Sometimes you see the in-base is like a 4th or 5th base. We don't even take it as a 3 base all the time. Because again, that lacking of a gas and some of the mineral patches... If you're confident in holding kind of on the map anyway, then it doesn't really matter, So, yeah. Alright, just going to see the CC in the factory coming about. Just going to be seeing the Adept. Going to go shading for a couple of moments. Adept is going to get there. A couple of Marines are going to show up for a few moments as well. Just getting it ready. Taking position. For a couple seconds. Twilight Council, the gateway, the Warp Gate and the probes continue to produce on by, so we get that all set up. For a couple of moments here, we get that underway. And set into some action. And we look to see where things will go over these next few moments. A couple of Marines going to gather together. Again, the Blink and the Warp Gate all coming up as well. There is the Widow Mine coming through. Widow Mine coming about, that medevac coming into play. Gonna be seeing the, again, Rax, medevac, and Marines coming over. Just gonna see the couple of gates building up alongside the Robo facility. The Adept gonna go for a shade through up in toward the main. Deeper going to lower, another few Marines coming across. The Adept will try and come down as well. You can see the couple of Widow Mines continue to come by. Also, so the Adept is going to keep shading through and get that moving, trying to see what's up. The Marine's going to step down to the low ground here. The Adept's already getting chased back just a little bit. Prism and the Blink on the way through from MaxPax is not surprising. 2 extra gates are going to be 4 gates of Blink Stalker pressure. We'll see how well the defense is from Maru. I do not love the lack of a bunker on this low ground, but it is a ramp up into the high ground. Arguably that helps you. Obviously there's going to be a siege tank. A Viking could land as well if necessary, so there's options at the very least as the Widow Mine drop. Tries to get in. Medevac takes a few shots. Not even going to fire the second mine off or drop the second mine. And he's thought for a second about maybe saving that one, but would rather keep it alive. The siege tank, I'm not sure what it's so hurt from. Did I miss that tank? That tank just popped out, no? Did he just misclick his own tank? I actually don't know why that tank's damaged. If you know in chat and I'm missing something stupidly obvious, please let me know. as the Stalkers are going to take a chance to run up into this main base. SCVs and Marines are going to be there. Tank position is good initially. And so far, Maru will kind of fend this off and keep this from doing too much else. What die? There's 2 Adepts. Surely 2 Adepts didn't just attack that tank the whole time, no? Just fighting Adepts, it was half HP. Like, but I'm just surprised that the Adepts just sat there and hit the tank. And yeah, I guess that is probably just the simple answer. I don't know. I just didn't think the tank was going to be half HP, and I don't know. I guess I was expecting something else. Maru's going across the map, guys, so he's sending it to the other side, and he's got some SCVs in tow. Forces the recall from MaxPax, so MaxPax will be back home to try and start dealing with this. Medevac going to be here to help us out a little bit. That Immortal is a big deal. Lots of Marines at the moment, though, that we got to chew through first. As we are going to see the Stalkers blinking forward as the tanks start to get siege. Tanks will only get 1 or 2 shots off. However, the blink forward commits a lot of units in. Does not save the Immortal in the Prisms. The Prism goes down 2. So the Immortal goes down 2. Up this ramp, Maru's is going to go after the battery at first. Pylon is a prime target here because you could deny the next unit out of the Robo facility. Oh, never mind. There's another Pylon in the back. Still not bad to get a Pylon because it potentially supply blocks your opponent. Prism doing some work with the liftoffs. We are going to be seeing, obviously, the Medevac micro available too. Now that gets cleaned up. A tank on the low ground will siege. Is that going to be okay? We're going to start hitting some extra things here. 12 probes went down during this as MaxPax had to pull in a defense. Maru is still committing to this, as obviously this gateway will go down, but I think we're just going to blink on this tank, and that's going to be dangerous. To see these Stalkers are low, but they're going to be saved by the Prism as well, and that's a cleanup. Maru's attack is going to come to a close as MaxPax shuts it down, and defense here on Celestial Enclave. Yeah, non-autosis pylon. That Robo was repowered by the other pylon in the back. Yeah, just a good base layout from MaxPax. Who would have guessed? Man had his setup in position right there. And you see the charge coming through, the few Stalkers coming across. And you have a blink straight over here. I mean, this could be tough for Maru. He does not have a lot defensively, and his structures on this side obviously going to be prime targets. 1 tank on the low ground on sieges. Now you lost the tech lab. The Starport's add-on is denied as well. And you obviously have the Prism micro. We could blink onto the tank, and I think we will because it feels like we just have enough. And a new tank pops out straight into the Stalker fire. Not looking great at the moment. A few more Marines coming back around. Just going to see the Prism taking a few more shots. It's going to get pushed away. 7 SCVs continue to build, continue to go down as well. So it's been good damage dealt throughout the course of that. I think this really is somewhat on the verge of kind of coming to a close here. Dark Shrine, Nexus, both building through. Stalkers and that Prism going to reposition a little bit as well. Figure out what else we can do with that, perhaps. Stalkers step up this high ground. Couple of SCVs go down. The Marines are going to come over. Vikings will land. The Marines are going to try and fight. The Prism is going to be there. The Stalkers just lifting up, dropping back to the other side. Just continue to pull back here. Blink back across this little mineral gap. And then you see the Dark Shrine and the Nexus building through as well. A couple of probes and the Stalkers building on through. Charge coming up. Stalkers warping in. Army into the middle of the map for the moment. Bunker coming around. Again, the Stalkers just peel off over to the side for a couple of moments there. Just getting out of here. And the Dark Shrine and company coming through too. The Stalker count is obviously very good. Now we're trying to find a way to hang on in here. These Vikings just constantly on the ground dealing the bonus damage. But Blinks and Prism Micro are combining to be obviously a lot of value for these Stalkers, which is kind of the issue at the moment. Just they're getting too much done in each and every shot that they fire. And now the Zealots have charged, and that's going to be really difficult to cheat through because don't think we have the DPS for it. The Stalkers blink for the tank. It goes down. Zealots fall at least. Maru just down 20 workers means that long term he's not really staying in any kind of a sustainable position. And MaxPax is just going to have a little bit too much of an edge in this one, it feels like. I'm not going to see a GG yet, but I can't imagine MaxPax wants to let up the pressure. He surely feels the ability and the advantage which he's holding on to at the moment, and I'd be very surprised if he didn't kind of just send this and commit through to a to what is very likely going to be an advantage / a win. Prism still moving about, just going to be having the DT slicing and dicing a few SCVs up as well, just knocking those down for a little bit extra. There's just nothing that Maru really has in his favor. Like, it's like, name one thing that's going to save Maru here. Stim is nice. At this point, it's like an expectation. Oh no, the tank gets taken down by the friendly fire as well. Not that I think it was going to make any difference, but it does obviously not feel good. GG is called. Koreans, I just want to keep games going where we can. This TvP is ready. I didn't see Cristiana online, so let's just check back in and see how it goes. As we have in the top left, Zaun and Riong from ONSYDE. Separate bases on this one. Taking on MaxPax and Solar in the bottom right. Beautiful. Let me just message Cristiana. Cool. All right, let's, well, I'm on the indie cam already. I'm gonna let him take charge of how this looks, how this moves for the next couple moments as we get up into play. Get this ready to rumble. So a little chrono boost on the probes, similar in the gateway, coming about for a few moments here as well. It's just gonna bring that all around, get that set up, and get the drones and the hatchery coming through as well. Everything looking very reasonable for the first couple of moments here. What do I think is the strongest team in teams? Protoss Zerg? Probably Terran Protoss or Protoss Zerg, I think. I think Terran Protoss is extremely good late game. I think Protoss Zerg is extremely good like early to mid game. Yeah, I think I'm honestly not a teams expert, but like my general kind of just baseline understanding is I think that's a pretty good setup. But I think yeah, PT, Mech, and Skytoss. Yeah, personally I think that's very good. Absolutely. That's why I said late game, but I actually don't think that Terran Protoss is necessarily the easiest to get there, although Mass Phoenix and playing Mech, like, maybe, how do you not get there, I guess, but I've been really impressed by, like, the Ling Stalker stuff lately. Like, the Ling Stalker stuff feels really strong recently. So, yeah. I think Terran Protoss is really good on the maps that lets you go Mech Skytoss very easily. Right, like those maps, it's absolutely just going to be Terran Protoss favored, right? So, kind of makes some sense. Well, let me just take a couple moments, set this up, see where we go to. Start getting the next coming about, the Adept coming around as well. So we get this all on the way. Probe is going to patrol for a few moments here. Link speed coming about. Carriers are coming through. And we just have that Adept heading down to the bottom side of the map. When you see a medevac here on an Ultra, you'd say Terran Zerg is the strongest, yeah, you think? It's pretty sick. Adept's just going to be taking some damage. So a few shots coming about, a few hits coming over. Just going to see that Roach run, the few Lings and the Queen, the Ling speed coming up for a couple of moments. Yeah, the Stalker's on the way, the Warp Gate coming through as well. So we're just straight up 4-gating right now as Zaun. And I do not hate the idea of just being super aggressive here on the one bases, because obviously you're playing this kind of split defense. Yeah, those gateways are kind of seen by Solar, so they definitely know what's up. We'll see what the defense looks like as Solar gets a Roach-Ron, MaxPax begins a Void Ray. Obviously, they have both expanded, so this is going to be an expansion-based defense from the Villains. Try and knock Riong and Zaun down and back for the moment. Well, there's a few SCVs coming over. We're floating the barracks across for vision as well, I presume. Because obviously, Riong is just building purely factory units right now. So there's one piece all in from Zaun and Riong getting set to roll. And honestly, starting off looking pretty powerful right now. As off and away we head. Stalker's going to shoot a few Roaches, and the Queens and the Lings coming about as well, trying to see what else they can find. For the next couple of seconds, you're going to be seeing this fight starting off. Yeah, like I say, it's a lot of units. Lings counterattacking, actually going to maybe kind of take a bit of a distraction, so it'll be interesting to see if that levels out to be meaningful at all, perhaps. And so you'll see the Stalkers and the Hellions continuing through for a little bit, so still trying to get to work right there. A couple of Forces going to try and lock these Stalkers in the front. A Phoenix comes in, lifts the Cyclone there. There's the Void Ray, and if the Stalkers can't get onto the Void Ray, that's going to make this very tough. Cyclone will go down. Nice target firing from the Void Ray as well, prioritizing the unit there. Barracks is annoying because look at that, the Void Ray keeps hitting the barracks because it has to be micro to do so otherwise. So that's actually making this very frustrating as Zaun and Riong continue to sit on the front. Just going to be seeing a few more of those drones going down, a bit more damage being dealt at the moment. Alien's still trying to chase forward. The Roaches are there as well. Units coming back and forth for the moment again. Roaches, Lings just coming through. Stalker, Alien, Cyclone continuing to produce. And again, just going to be having our units continue to gather up for a couple more moments now. So we bring that straight through. And again, just going to be seeing the hatchery gonna get taken out. Solar has lost his hatch, so he's a one-base Zerg. It's kind of the nice part about knocking the Zerg base down, right? Is like you just genuinely do put them to be in a very tough position, because it's not just eco, it's like production as well. So they're so limited when they're a one-base Zerg player. It makes it so much of a tougher scenario as that force field comes down, make it a double. Stalkers and a couple of Hellions is going to be there. We're going to fight back on the other side. The Road Traveler is still trying to come through. We go back and forth. The Cyclone coming across. A couple of the Void Rays still active up in the sky. Is going to activate through. The Stalker's taking damage. The Hellions are going to be there. The Roach is taking shots. Naturally going to go down in the next couple of moments as well. Just getting that into position already. Well, I'm just going to try and reposition things. I mean, we get pushed back in the end as down in Riong. Supply-wise, MaxPax is just booming. His army looks amazing. The two Void Rays are going to be tough to get rid of. I mean, I guess Cyclones are going to have to be a big part of that. Good micro back, though, so far. MaxPax dealing with this absolutely spot on. Keeping the Void Rays away. Stalker count great. Not to really think that this is not just looking good here for the Villains, as Sound says GG. And I think Riong may not be far behind. He's going to kill a Void Ray. I mean, there's bonus points for getting the last kill in the game, right? Villains go to a 2-0 lead as MaxPax and Solar will take a 2-0 with a 3-0 possibility on the doorstep right now. As we have MaxPax in the top right will be our Red Protoss player taking on Riong, our Blue Terran in the bottom left for game 3 of this best of 7. We can get this up and underway. Off and away we go. Alrighty. Can Riong put a map on the board for ONSYDE? That would be amazing if he could. Get set ready to rock into this, and yeah, let's see. MaxPax out for the second time in this series. After this, Solar versus Zaun, and then another 2v2. And like I say, we're holding that Cristiana game in case the internet gets better. For now, he's testing it, but it's just not better yet, so... Yeah. Did Goblin join Basilisk, so it's just for the event? It's just for this event. We allowed it because Basilisk can't play the playoffs easily if they don't have a +1. So Goblin is their +1 to enable them to play the playoffs more easily, which is obviously great. But yeah, servers are just a bit of a mess today, guys. People are just struggling with connections, so yeah, it's kind of rough. If Riong survives the mine from a third base, you'll be surprised. Oh, maybe MaxPax doesn't 4-gate blink him? That's not impossible. I think survives is maybe an interesting term, because maybe Riong's the one who gets aggressive before he tries to mine from a third base, right? So, but yeah, I guess then you don't survive if it goes wrong, so yeah. Adept and Warp Gate building through, the Nexus on the way. The probe's building up, factoring the reactor coming by. Gonna see the Chrono Boost on the Adept as we shade around. There's a Reaper that's obviously waiting for a chance to maybe pop by for some further information. Not finding too much of anything just yet, as that Reaper continues about for the moment. Couple shots coming in, probes take some damage. The Adept pops to chase the Reaper out down the right side as well, so that Reaper does get pushed out of here just for a moment or two. So again, that chased away. So far, so good. Reaper coming across again, the blink and the warp gate coming through. The command center building about. We'll take a couple seconds. Just have ourselves the setup here. Blink and a robo, very standard from MaxPax. Riong is gonna get a barracks on the way. The orbital command coming up and online as well. So just bringing that straight through for the moment. Bringing that across and seeing where we get to. The command center in the main is just gonna be morphing into the orbital as well. And that medevac takes a couple of mines out across to the upper right side of the map. So away we go to put some pressure on. On on the move. For the moment, the Adept going to take a shade. The Marine's obviously going to stand pretty stalwart there, pretty strong and solid. Just for the moment as well, no problems, as the Orbital takes a float over. Just for a moment or two toward a low ground expansion. So just going to put that in place. The Widow Mines are going to come straight across, just going to go straight through for a couple of probes. So just going to try and find a little bit right there. As you see the Widow Mines, going to go bang bang, 2 probes. Nice step forward with the Stalkers against that Medevac. It'll take some shots, it will not go down, it saves 1 mine, but nice to get damage on it, right? Because it really dissuades it from coming back in the future. So definitely a big advantage there. There's a couple of probies down. Another Stalker warping in. Blinking the Prism coming up and getting going as well. And tanking the Stim coming across. Blink coming through. The Observer coming by. Prism is just going to be a moving. And yeah, the Stalkers and the Adept will come across for a couple moments right now. Depot going to go down. Bunker about to complete. Stalkers and the Adept will come by for a second. Nexus drops onto the 3rd base. And that Prism just set up here for a couple of moments. So you take it steady for a moment or two. Yeah, not super aggro from MaxPax, just kind of sitting there and letting this develop a bit, maybe see if anything takes place. He'll jump into the main with the Prism, but pretty minimal. Cancels a reactor. It's minimal investment from MaxPax, but you get a good bit out of it, right? So that part goes nicely pretty much right off the bat. Stim and Combat Shield still building in. The Marine Marauder Medevac continuing out. SCVs and the Refinery coming up as well for the moment. Yeah, next is about to be done. There's extra gates in the Robo Bay coming about, probes, and the charge going through. Medevac loads up a chunk of Marines and going to go chasing an Observer down. It's actually a nice spot from Riong, and it's going to be a nice kill. So, nice to get rid of an Observer. Always going to be good to slow your opponent's information gathering abilities down for now. Combat Shield about to complete. Concussive shells coming through. Yo, thank you for the donation. Danish Doctor, I believe that is. It's so small on my screen. I'm going to have to open my stream elements to read that one, but I'll do that in a second. As you see Riong pushing out and looking to try and get across the other side already. So looking to make some moves. And out to that far left side. And this army is going to counterattack with the Zealots. And Riong's army is sizable. Let's see how well MaxPax can deal with this. Riong will be in position in a moment or two. Stalker's going to take some shots as the SCVs are pulling across as well. The Colossus is going to pop in a moment, by the way, so we're very close to the splash damage here. That's obviously going to be a big dictator of how this game ends up going. Colossus pops out. Tank's in good position, though. Bunker coming up. MaxPax, how well can he deal with this? That Prism's still alive. It could warp in across the map. Robo going to be in some trouble, too, though. I do not love the Robo going down for MaxPax, because if he's just stuck on one Colossus, that's not ideal. He's so far denied the Bunker from coming up, so the Bunker is still just trying to get going here. Not ready just yet. Another force field comes down over on this side. We've got a few Zealots, as you can see in the back, looking and flying, but I feel like this fight's starting to break out, no? 9 SCVs dead at the moment. Obviously, we pulled the boys for this. We keep a few units back to protect the tanks. Good shots onto those units initially, actually. Able to do very well at first. Here we go, the breakout attempt from MaxPax as he comes in. Bunker's just now going to finish. Nothing really gets into it, though. The Hallucinated Archon has actually tanked a ton of damage. Can we kill a Colossus off? Yes? No? Oh my goodness, the Marauder jumped out to try and chase it down, but he doesn't get it. Riong's supply is plummeted. And unfortunately, I think this one is actually going to be a done deal. And it does go against Riong, which means the Villains are going to be up 3-0 in this series. Yeah, the Villains are looking good. He's going to be seeing a couple of Zealots going to get jumped on. The Bio are going to come back. He's going to be seeing the Zealots and so coming back through as well. And, I mean, this is just not really enough at this point. As GG gets called, and that is going to be MaxPax going up with the Villains a 3-0 lead. Resubbing us up. Appreciate it. As in the top right corner. 0-3 needs to fight to keep ONSYDE alive. It is Zaun. And in the bottom left, our blue Zerg is Solar. All right. Get this on the way. Get this started off and get this ready to go. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Zaun can keep the ONSYDE squad alive in this matchup. Solo's pretty impressed. He got his hatchery down before the block gets there, so that's generally a pretty good move. It's a nice one. So I'm going to chase. Probe will take a couple of shots. Just going to see the probe coming about. Just going to see that gateway coming through. Getting that settled in. Take a couple of moments. Hatch, gas, and pool all coming up just for a little bit. Can't wait for Team Liquid to finally show up. Yeah, well, they were meant to play on the opening day, but obviously they had issues with the CG Enters boys having to reschedule. So, yeah, Liquid will finally be playing some next time. Although, we actually are having an issue, so I need to confirm, but I haven't heard from Xeratus. And right now, it looks as though Xeratus, if they don't reply to me soon, are going to be probably just kicked out of the league, so I'm going to only have one Liquid match in that case. But Liquid Platinum Heroes is definitely going to happen at the very least, so that part is nice at least. Alright, so we got Stargate coming through, next coming about, the Adept and the Probe coming over, link speed in production. And get this settled in for a moment or so here, so just getting that up and running, bring that through. So kick this off and get this underway for a little right now. You see the couple links moving about, the Probe is going to be right there, just getting involved for the next couple of moments. And Ling's just going to nibble on the rocks, and who am I actually following? I'm on Ninja Scan, perfect. Alright. So, yeah, Zaun looking to put a map on the board for ONSYDE, and then they would also need Cristiana to win and to win the 2v2. Because if they don't manage all of that, that would be very difficult. Yeah, very difficult indeed. Couple of Adepts going to shade, the Ling's going to be there. Adept's going to get up to the high ground for a moment. The Oracle and the Warp Gate still coming by. Just going to see those Lings and the Queen gathering up. The Oracle and the Warp Gate again moving through. Link speed coming about. Queen going to pop out the hatchery for a couple of moments. Queens, the Lings, the drones still building about. The Spore Crawler is about halfway done currently. So again, we bring that through for the moment. Getting that going. That all settled in for now. The Adept's going to make a shade. Queens and Lings moving about. The Oracle going to fly over. The Queens are going to get there to chase that Oracle down for a couple seconds. Ling's going to be there to hold up for a moment. We're just going to see those Queens getting after the Oracle again. A few Lings looking to get on the Adepts for a few moments as well. I'm just going to see those Lings trying to chase those Adepts down. So looking to get straight across, looking to move into position here. Just for now, get that in place. And Twilight Council, Gateway, Nexus, all continuing through. The couple of probies coming about as well. These Adepts going to shade away before they get into true trouble here. Twilight Council is building now. We're expecting Solar usually one of two things, generally speaking, which is either very aggressive kind of play, which with the lair coming up could maybe still be some kind of like queen drop kind of roach attack. The other thing he quite likes doing, which I think is actually very good on this map, is Spire and Mutalisks, and that would be my personal guess as to where he goes on this map in this game, but we will obviously see over the next couple of moments exactly what he builds into. So those are kind of your expectations on Solar's point of view. For Zaun, it's important to try and figure that out. Be prepared for it. You've got to be ready if it's an aggressive attack. You've got to be ready if these mutas are going to show up and harass you. It is extremely rare that Solar tries to play into a much longer macro game. And I especially would not expect him to do that in a best of one. Although maybe that would be the least predictable thing, but then you're also playing a longer macro game against Protoss, which I'm not sure Solar is a massive fan of either, to be fair. So, yeah, I'm not sure he's going to be necessarily chuffed if that's how things end up going. As those few lings move about, a couple of Stalkers going to come around there as well, so you just keep moving through for a little bit. Stalker's going to fight those lings. You move over, again, Blink on the way, Hydra Den building. Couple gates in the Forge coming up as well for now, getting that all set. Again, Hydra Den coming through, the drones and the lings are building up. So far, so good. And waiting to get into more here. As, again, Blink and the +1 continue by. Temple Archives coming up and online. Lots of just little bits and pieces that come into play already. Those Zerglings going to fire up and try and get somewhere meaningful. A couple of other units coming around as well. Again, the Lings move off over to the sides. I'm just going to see those Stalkers going to poke through onto this hatchery already. So really trying to poke through for something on this. Stay Sword going to catch us a few more Lings across the board. Queens get chased away. The Lings are going to gather up as well. Get rid of one more Ling. Hydra's coming out. Typical move from Solar. Get the Ling Hydra ready to go in a moment like this. It's going to see those Stalkers still poking at the hatchery, and a couple Lings getting turned around back down to the bottom. The Stalkers will still be there. The couple Lings taking some more shots. Queens and the Hydras coming back over once again. Try and find a little bit extra. Storm Charge +1 all continuing through. Then we got a couple of Lings going to make their way through. Pylon there. Just going to get a cancellation on that. The High Temple is still trying to hold its own for a few more moments. Again, +1 missile attack. Muscular Augments coming through. Storm and Charge coming up. State's going to catch a good chunk of Lings as well. It's just going to get rid of those. And the rest of those Lings and Hydras still trying to press on forward. And for the most part, as long as Down is turning the other way, this is okay for Solar. He's heading into Groove Spines, heading into +1 missiles. Heading into a hive. He's doing the thing I just did not expect him to do, which is just play kind of a straight-up game. He's just going to get to hive, probably throw down a Lurker Den if I had to guess. And right now, this is just Ling Hydra, right? There's not any sign of kind of, Banes or anything, so it's not even going to keep kind of just like a spam of Ling Bane Hydra or anything. Like, this really is just going to develop into kind of crazily a very, very normal kind of macro game for Solar. Like I said, just he is going to get overload speed now. I'm just wondering, do we actually build... I'm expecting he cancels this 4th base. It's amazing. But I'm just wondering, do we kind of go Baneling? We do go Lurker Den, right? Otherwise, what are we just going into the Hive for? Like, what does this Hive give us? Obviously, Vipers. Do we want Vipers right now? Do they help you necessarily overall in this scenario? I'm actually not 100% sure. Next is coming into place. The few Lings and Hydras going to knock onto the rocks for a couple moments as well, so some damage to be done there. Yeah, Hydra's still building up, +1 missiles and the overload speed coming over as well, so again, a lot of that continues by just for the moment. Hydra's and the Lings coming back over. The Archon going to take a couple shots, going to get surrounded by those Zerglings. The Archon's going to come through. The army is just stuck here. These Hydras are dead. And, yeah, they're not looking too great as the Zealot Stalker High Templar Force chases those Hydras away from this, so those Hydras get chased out. They're going to get pushed down. They're going to get chased away. No chance that they survive it. As the Ling Hydra continues through. And gather everything else up. The army continues to put itself in position. Big push from Zaun right now. So has to find a defense. There's the Lurker Den. Did he just forget the Lurker Den? Is this like... I just don't understand why the Lurker Den is coming in now of all times. Like, why? What has made it come into play now instead of getting this sooner? I think he just forgot it, because otherwise, why would you not want it finishing with the Hive being done so you can start building those Lurker upgrades ASAP? There was nothing else that really kind of, makes sense in terms of what you're heading into here. Now, right now, in this very moment, too much is happening, so for now, we're just kind of chilling. And you have the couple Archons, the +2 attack coming through. And again, Lings and Lurkers all building through as well. And a lot of the rest of that on the way as well here. Away we go. It's going to be seeing a couple storms coming down. Those Lings are going to get caught for a couple of moments. Drop Lords make their way across. Again, the couple Stargates coming online. That mothership building through. The +2 attack is also coming online right now, so bring that in as well. Lots of Lings getting caught in status towards the other Lurkers. They are going to have Seismic Spine soon, so Solar's doing a decent job of kind of getting toward the upgrades and getting toward that kind of a stage. 2 more Stargates building up, going to give us this air army from down in the next few moments. A couple Oracles going to be there. We dropped a little Revelation down already. You can see the Zealot still going to try and engage in. A good storm coming down, another storm coming down. The Lurker's getting hit hard. And they are going to have to back it up right now. Like I say, they're getting the upgrades. Seismic Spine's just finished, so now just move ourselves to Adaptive Talons, and the Lurkers are all set to go. Alright, well, Zaun is making his way to the late game, and obviously in response to that, Solo will now make his way to the response to the late game. So everyone is prepping for this next stage, as we do see a dive in the center, just going to catch some Morphing Lurkers, catch a couple out here. Zaun just going to decimate a bunch of these units already. Now Solo looking to come in from that right-hand side. What does he want to do? Spire on the way, like I say, for the Corruptors against the Tempest, but right now the Tempest aren't even the thing that's killing him. It's just this kind of Storm army that is doing extremely well. Solo's trying to press up and get in position, put a bit of a siege down with these Lurkers, but again, it's going to be difficult to really kind of, capitalize on with the Tempest, able to shoot back at you now. They're going to be such a good anti-siege unit, able to stop you from being sieged here, and should be able to push you out of that position again. Melee upgrades still coming up. Hydras, the Lings, and the Spire continuing to play. The Adrenal Glands coming by as well. And you just see this army still continuing through, and the units still gathering in the middle of the map. And again, Adrenal Glands and the melee upgrade will build for the next few moments. Let's see where we go. The Stasis Ward just coming down already. Getting in position here for the moment. Drop the Lords out over the right side. Excuse me. Again, Zaun looking to keep ONSYDE's hopes and dreams alive right now. They're winning this game. The Adrenal Glands, the melee upgrade coming through. The extra Lurkers coming up. The Zealots going to get in after the Zerglings. A couple of Hydras going to lunge backward. And you're not going to see those Lings able to wrap around. The Zealot will go down. And again, Adrenal Glands, the melee upgrade continuing through. +1 flyer attack on the way. Just see the Lings and the Overseers keep moving about. Lings looking to chase forward a little bit. Just going to be seeing the Mothership and the Tempest continue to come through as well. See the Mothership going to shoot back, and a couple of those Lurkers getting turned around. Lings and Hydras going back the other way. Dropper Lords get shut down as Solo tries to find an opening here. It's not going to work either, and Solo, you can see, is just going to come out supply blocked from that and losing a bunch of supply, and supply blocked is kind of a double kick in the teeth, quite frankly, so really not great. Unfortunately, Robo still coming about, just going to be seeing the cannons coming over again. Zaun is... I mean, we're going to see Solo's going to get to the Corruptors. He's still trying to find openings, but Zaun is becoming a 5-base Protoss who's extremely secure in this game. He's looking absolutely great right now. He is feeling fantastic. Like, it's hard not to love where you're at the moment as Zaun. It's hard not to love his position. As the couple of Zealots are going to dive through and going to jump onto a Queen here. The Lurker's going to burrow up. All those Zealots will get annihilated. And we do see everything else. Stalk, Tempest, Archon coming around that right-hand side. A couple of Zealots are going to move through as well currently. Yeah, what's up, Corn76? Thank you for the 30-month resub. Hopefully 30 more tournaments this year. I'm pretty sure we have at least 30 more WardiTV Mondays this year. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good, pretty reasonable guesstimate of something that will happen. Again, Neural Parasite, +1 flyer attack coming up. Power upgrade and Carapace coming through. Stalk's going to try and get in after the Overlords there. The Lings are going to come through. The Lurkers are burrowed and they are killing. Stalkers are dying. Again, Neural Parasite coming about. The Burrow coming through. Corruptors and Spines all producing. This army of Zaun gets up to the top side. Just gathers for a moment. The Mothership going to be there to help everything else gather in as well. So we join up for a few moments here. Figure out what is next. Hey, what's up, Walgran? Thank you so much for the 72-month resub. Amazing, the 6 years. I appreciate you, dude. Hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for the 6 years of support. It's amazing. Thank you so much. As we continue by, just going to be seeing the +3 missiles, +2 melee, all of that coming by. Getting set up at the moment. Tempest, Archon's Mothership continue to come through. The Stasis Sword coming down. There's a lot of Lurkers. I mean, honestly, Solo at this point now, I feel better for him than I did a couple of minutes ago. Before, I really felt like Solo didn't have a setup to deal with Zaun. Now I feel like he's got the tools, and while it's not easy to make this work, I do kind of believe that, like, he can actually make it happen from here, you know? Like, I do think he can make it happen from here. As we are going to take this fight. Well, hard to love the Corruptors just straight up fighting the Archons. 19 corruptors just instantly rebuild, but that's one way to lose your bank instantly without anything else really even happening, so that was not great. Yeah, there goes a chunk of stuff for Solar as we're continuing with everything else. A couple Storms top left. That base still being kept nice and healthy and alive. Solar is obviously just a 5-base Cirque, so it's not like he's kind of taking bases over his opponent either, so there's only so much really kind of going on in play right now as these few Hydras going to get in after these few Zealots. A few shots coming off there. The Tempest's going to go back the other way as well, firing back through for a couple moments here. And Stix Infest is on the way by. The Corruptor's coming up. It's going to be seen +3 missiles, +2 melee. All of that continuing in. The Ling Hydra stepping over to the sides for a couple moments as well. Solo looking to take a fight. Cristiana has a massive bank compared to Solo. Taking some good pickoffs, getting an Oracle or two and so on. That previous fight was just so bad for Solo. Like, he just lost all his Corruptors for so little purpose. It's a nice fungal, but can we really capitalize on that? And Templars are going to try and make sure it's difficult to approach this with the Corruptors. We are just going to go for it. Solo going to dive in. There's so many Archons. He's just dancing. I was going to say that, like, he's just dancing. Like, this is not an engagement. Zone is going to take game number 4 of this best of 7. And ONSYDE are going to get... Alright, let's set into this, guys. As we have in the top left-hand side, we're going to have Percival, who just needs to win this game, and the series is done in his team's favor. Cristiana needs to win to keep ONSYDE's hope alive in this series. So off we go, sending this, and let's see what happens as we get this one up and ready to roll. Very exciting. So yeah, Cristiana Percival some lag earlier. Delayed this one to now, and then we will play the 2v2 after this, and if we need an ace match, then we need an ace match. We'll go into that as well. First, let's see how this 1v1 goes. Obviously, we do play the 2v2 even if Percival wins this game right now, so that gets played no matter what. I feel like this series is still kind of up in the air, man. I feel like the 2v2 is up in the air. I feel like this game's kind of up in the air as well. Percival does not love TvP, but he is still pretty darn solid at it. Cristiana's very good as well. Alright, Rex and the SCV coming about, Gate coming through. Everything the orbital coming up as well. So nothing too wild proxy style or anything to start us off in this one, guys, which obviously is always going to be something of a possibility in these games. But no proxying or anything like that to kickstart this game as we just get underway and look to see where things will go. Next in the Cybercore, coming up for a couple moments to get that underway. And yeah, factoring the command center building through as well. Getting that up and running. Bring this all into action right now. Alright, reactor and refinery coming about, factory and the depot coming over, command center and the SCV coming through as well. Just gonna get a little bit more of this set up at the moment here. Probe just obviously gonna move around, just checking for anything nearby, sneaky starport or anything like that, or an SCV. Getting prepped to be sneaky in the future, so just trying to get that information initially. Starport in the bunker coming through, a couple of Hellions coming over. Let's get a depth shading up then. Again, a couple of Hellions, the Marine still stepping through. Again, the Blink and the Warp Gate coming up as well. We get this on the go. Going to be seeing the Adept just going to recall back. Well, we just got the gates up. Cristiana will move into the Blink play for a couple moments here. The barracks and a couple of Widow Mines coming online as well, so we got all of that settled in just for the moment. The Medevac and the SCV producing through too. Again, bringing a lot of this up and online for now. Blink building, gates on the way, robo facility coming about also. Going to be having the probe back and forth. A couple of Hellions will be nearby, so looking to try and grab any opportunity they have to potentially get some damage done. We are going to see a couple of gates and the Nexus coming about. Robotics facility coming through. The Blink is on the way. Again, the assimilator building as well. Just going to see those couple of Hellions still poking at the Nexus, taking the chance to deal some damage. The 4 Widow Mines going to drop through. A couple of Stalkers are going to jump onto the medevac. A couple of Mines going to burrow up. Stalkers going to get blasted. 2 probes and 2 Stalkers. Not a bad start. We're going to pull those 2 hurt mines away to try and protect them with the other mines. We actually blow the other mine up on a Stalker, which is amazing. Now we're just going to go for 1 more probe. And we're just going to run things about. But this was not a bad start. 2 Stalkers and 3 probes. 3 Stalkers and 3 probes, sorry. Is a really good trade for 4 mines in the medevac. I mean, a lot of the time you don't love losing the medevac, but I think in this case, 3 Stalkers down, it removes so much potential pressure from the Protoss play. Like, there's so little you can do right now on this map. Because your Stalker count has just been absolutely decimated. And okay, it was 4 mines instead of the 2 or the 3, but every single one of these mines just traded well. So if your mine's trading well, it's hard to, like I say, really be upset at said Widow Mine if it's just doing its job well enough that you're, you know, in this kind of a conversation. So yeah, I think a very happy position for Percival early on in this game, number 5. Not ideal for the ONSYDE guys, who are obviously lose this and you're then actually 1 and 2 in this group, which is a really dangerous place to be. There's only 3 teams that advance to playoffs, so it's kind of crazy. You see any Hellion coming about, just going to see the probes going down. 4 workers being killed at the moment. Couple gates, the probes on the charge, all coming up as well. Just going to see the rest of the Stalkers to the upper left. Marine Marauder medevac coming online. Stimming combat shield building as we go. I'm just going to see a little bit of that bio tank force ready to get involved as necessary. Just going to start pushing those Stalkers back. I mean, killing another 4 probes and then pushing on the map right now. Cristiana is hurting. He is going to be bleeding right now, and it's going to be tough for him to, like I say, stand up to the sort of pressure that's about to come his way, considering the SCVs are pulled, and I think Percival is absolutely right to get going. That's a lag spike. Pommy just insta-drops. Okay. Thank you, Pommy, because I thought this was about to be Cristiana. I was going to be losing my doodles. Alright, Bio's still pushing up. Obviously, like I say, Stim is done. Combat Shield's about to be done. Man, Cristiana's going to have charge, but he's not going to have many Zealots, and he's going to have a Robo-Bay, but he does not really have a chance to build a Colossus here. I mean, he can start one, but this is going to get serious long before he gets a Colossus out. This Nexus is immediately in trouble, as you can see. Stalkers trying to blink around the far side. They're actually very fortunate those tanks just on siege, otherwise they would have just been blasted. So the Stalker's actually going to be pretty good at intercepting some units. Like I say, if that was a, if those tanks stayed siege, those Stalkers would have just taken so much damage there, so. A little reckless, honestly, from Cristiana. Goes unpunished. Now, well, we push up. The Robo Facility does pop out another Immortal. And the Stalkers dive, and they get one of the 2 siege tanks that were here. That's something, but, I mean, Percival also has a lot of army supply. The Zealots, I just don't think the Zealots are going to do much, and I don't think the Immortals are going to do much on their own accord either. Widowmine's going to blow those Immortals up, and it looks as though Cristiana is going to be losing out on this one, which means that we are going to have, simply put, 1 2v2 to play for a point. But Percival and the Villains of SC2 will get the winning without them. Again, unfortunately, the series is done, so this one is just for a map score point. Again, there's a couple of reasons we play all maps in terms of all the 6 maps that are set. It's just good for scheduling, it's good for organization, it's good for admin side of things. So there's a reason we play them all. And so even though it's 1 and 4 for ONSYDE, and they will not come away with a win today, they will still try to fight for a little bit of map point or map scoreage here. We'll see what they can do as we go into our last map of the day, my friends. Like I say, is Maru taking on MaxPax and Percival as we get this up and running here. Game number 6. It's coming about, probes going through, racks on the way. Take a couple of moments, get this all settled down. Probe coming into place just for a moment or 2. Get that set up. That's all working. And yeah, gates in the assimilator is going to come by initially as well. It's just going to get that up and rolling to start with. See where we take things. Again, the racks and the gas will come about here for a moment or so. And just see where we're taking this in general for the next moment. Or next couple of moments, I should say, even. Probe's going to nibble probes. And again, the Nexus and the barracks continue to come through. Just going to be seeing the orbital coming about. The Reaper coming by. Just going to be seeing the SCV coming up as well. So bringing a few little bits and pieces in there. It's going to be seeing the Reaper and the orbital both coming by as well. The Nexus and the Cybercores producing. And a couple of SCVs just going to get in after the probe for a moment or two also. It's going to chase into that and get that started off. See where we go. Yeah, Nexus, Cybercore coming through, assimilating the pylon coming up as well. The Reaper will continue to produce here just for a couple moments. And try and get this into play for anything exciting. And that Proby coming about for a couple seconds as well. It's just going to step over. Again, the Nexus building through on both sides of the map. The probes and the Adepts coming by. There's supposed to be a Kung Fu Cup tomorrow. You can't find any information about it. Give me a sec. Bam. There you go. There's the TL link, and it has the challenge link in there as well. Alright, Stargate coming up on both sides. The couple command centers in the barracks will be building through as well, so we get that on the way. And get this all set up at the moment and ready to rumble. And as the factory will land down onto the reactor, barracks moves off to the side. The Stargate's coming up and ready to rumble next couple seconds. And we'll see where this all heads to. Those units gathering together here, just going to be having the Adept and going to be holding the front. Again, Stargate finishing soon here from MaxPax. Is he going to start building some Phoenix? A couple of Hellions on the way from Percival as well. Maru and Zaun continuing to set themselves up. Maru adding an extra barracks, actually going to play Bio here rather than some kind of mech play. So Phoenix versus Phoenix, but likely mech versus Bio. I'd be surprised if Percival didn't play mech, honestly. Going to be interesting. Maru just building a bunch of Marines as they prep some defense early. I mean, maybe Percival doesn't play mech, but like, I'd be really surprised because mech's just freaking popular in the 2v2. We were talking about it earlier, kind of sky-toss mech, so one guy builds Phoenix and then you kind of build mech units, and the Phoenix turn into later game sky-toss as well. You can see MaxPax and Zaun are kind of mirrored for each other right now. And yeah, Maru's just going to go Stim. I wonder if he just likes it maybe as a way to maybe get involved against those Phoenix a little bit and to give Zaun a bit of an edge. But then if Zaun gets an edge, maybe he can help out a lot against the mech units too. Yeah, some interesting possibilities then in that regard as we settle down. A couple of engineering bays coming about, the barracks coming over, Marines and the SCVs coming through too. Gonna get that all on the way. And a few Hellions come over, a few Marines are gonna go down. A couple of Adepts are gonna fight here. Grenade forcing these Adepts back a little bit. So the Adepts just gonna get pushed away from this. Just gonna be seeing all of that coming through. Just gonna see the Hellions still fighting. A couple of those SCVs going down as well. Phoenix will be lifting and doing a bit more damage as well. Wheel drops into place. Obviously got to get those Phoenix back home defensively, but using the Phoenix defensively and lifting and stuff means that you don't have, lifts to maybe use aggressively, perhaps. So maybe that's something we can look at here as well for the next couple minutes as we can get through this. Adept still moving through. Again, Stimpack Combat Shield and the +1 coming up as well, bringing that up and running. Getting that all into place right now. And getting that, like I say, lined up for a moment or two. Yeah, 1-1 upgrade, stimming the combat shield, building up as well. So let's see the Hellions able to grab a probe over on the side there. Again, the fleet beacon coming up on both sides also, so we keep bringing that through for the moment. We get that all underway, bring this all online. The Hellions will get back through the middle of the map for a moment or so. Away they go. Those Hellions gather up together. Phoenix is going to move through. Going to see Annual Pulse Crystals building. Extra Phoenix producing. It's going to be seeing the Hellion able to fight for a couple of moments, and we do have our Hellions rejoining. The Phoenix moving about as well for now. Yeah, it's kind of so it is just going to be basically the same Protoss build versus Bio and then versus Mech. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Protoss kind of accompanies the Bio versus them. I mean, generally the later game is going to favor Percival and MaxPax, right? But the maybe some of the earlier game can definitely favor, and I do think just the Marines having extra anti-air might help to zone out some of MaxPax's Phoenix play, so perhaps that becomes something of a factor over the course of this too. It's going to lift off. Just going to be seeing the couple of Hellions still moving back into the center. The Stargate's coming about. Phoenix on the way. Probes on the way. And a lot of this ready as the scan comes down. We investigate what's going on. Just going to see the other Phoenix coming across. Hellions are going to shoot out a few of those Marines. Phoenix are going to go back and forth. And continue through for a couple of moments. Just going to see those Hellions backing away with the Phoenix for a couple of moments as well. Everything else regathering in between the bases right now. 1-1 vehicle upgrades coming through from Percival, so getting those going. Marines, Medivacs continue to push forward. A couple of Marauders going to come along with that as well. We've seen our Hellions all going to get picked off. Phoenix are coming through. Nice to obviously get those grabs. Now going to see these Phoenix here. This is the issue. The Phoenix can't just go lift all these Marines. Or can they? Maybe they can. Maybe Phoenix really are that good. I mean, if with enough Phoenix, you could, right? So I just don't think the numbers are there right now to necessarily do that at the moment. So I think for the moment, we probably don't do too much there. We are going to see a bit of back and forth, and the Phoenix is going to keep things interesting. Maru's supply is booming, by the way. I guess that's natural for the bio player to kind of take a lead on a mech player in a typical game of TvT, if you think about it like that. So then, you apply that to this scenario as well. Shouldn't really be any reason it's any different. MaxPax got some mothership. Factory's on the way from Percival. Man, he's really just doubling down on this late game, isn't he? He is setting it up. A couple Stargates coming through. The Phoenix going to gather back around. The Hellions are going to be there as well. And we are going to have ourselves the... So this continuing over. Just going to see a couple more shots going down. And I mean, honestly, getting rid of a Medivac is nice. Playing fire, though, that mothership's going to be interesting to see if it can get involved at all. We're going to take a fight here. Time Warp comes down. Maru's just going to stem through the Time Warp. Zero respect for the Time Warping Protoss at the moment. Over we go. A couple Phoenix are firing back and forth. Bio units are coming through. We are going to see the mothership taking a bit more damage. The Phoenix taking a few more hits. Maru and Zaun are going to back it up and hold off for a couple of moments then. So they're just going to pull back right now. For a little bit. Holding back, pulling away. And resetting. Alright, Phoenix and the mothership coming through. Just going to see the Medivac still lingering overhead as well. I mean, Zaun with his own mothership. I'm fascinated to see. I mean, okay, I kind of like this, right? Bio into the Ghost. It's going to be really good to have the Ghost EMP in the Phoenix. As these Phoenix are going to escort this Medivac drop into the base. There is going to be some static defense there, but that doesn't necessarily stop if the Phoenix just end up tanking a bunch of the shots from the missile turrets. In we go! And this Bio's going to get into this main. Now, there's a bunch of Phoenix showing up, but they can't necessarily fight because the Phoenix are here as well. EMP goes down, so now there's no shields! And that makes the Phoenix fight very one-sided in favor of Zaun. So I think Zaun will be okay there to kind of fight this. There's the Vikings showed up. We can actually dive on these for a moment or two as the Phoenix are still trying to get back in. There's the mothership showing up as well. It feels like the entire army shows up to defend this, but I mean... if that's true, surely we can do something else elsewhere at the same time. 5 Phoenix versus 3 Phoenix and a carrier on the way in production. Supply-wise... okay, well, this is going to turn out kind of bad for Zaun because he's somehow going to end up being the one to lose every Phoenix. I was so excited for him. I really thought that they'd found a way to make this work, but not going to be the case. Wow. That's kind of incredibly wild that that doesn't happen, I guess. It's kind of crazy. Well, just going to be seeing a bit of Bio up to the top side, looking to try and break through here as well. So looking to try and get over here. Got a little bit more done. The Phoenix and so coming about. And it's going to be seeing the starports building into place. Just going to be seeing again all the Bio units coming about. Getting all of that ready to go. Putting a lot of this into place right now. Again, the Phoenix coming about. The carrier still moving over for a couple of seconds. So again, we take a few moments here. This on the way. Just going to be seeing the Medevac's going to come boosting through. The Phoenix is going to go fire off and get rid of a siege tank as well. So just going to knock that down as a part of this. Just going to see the rest of these Phoenix coming by also. A few more shots coming about. Another fight breaking out. MaxPax's supply a bit worse for wear this time around. Maru's supply is still good. Percival's supply is still good. This fight on the right side getting pretty crazy, man. I love that we're seeing such a late game epic fight in the 2v2 at the end of the long ass day. It's like, it is 3:30 in the morning for the Korean players, by the way. And they're dueling in a late game 2v2 for map score point. This is silly. And it's probably the most epic 2v2 we've had in the league so far. It's kind of the situation that's making me giggle about. I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. It really is. It is so ridiculous right now. Bio still gathering around, the other tanks and so joining up together as well. That's going to be seeing units stepping across for a couple of moments here. We are going to see the Bio as the Medevacs coming through. The Ghost is just going to step up for a second or two also. More unloads looking to come around there. NCC setting up, a few cannons are coming by. Just going to be seeing the rest of this gathering together as well right now. A nuke going to try and line up since it gets picked away at. Nuke is going to land into the midst of these couple of missile turrets. Not going to do too much right now, but maybe we can continue to add to those. We're building 2 nukes at a time at the moment from Maru, so 2 nukes at a time to get us going and continue us through this game at the moment is going to be where we're at. Again, just going to see those Hellions, those tanks all gathering together, so we keep bringing that through as well. Just got the rest of this setting up right here. On we go. A couple more hits coming in, just for a moment or two. A couple more shots coming about. A little more being done right now. As we come by, just going to be seeing a little bit of action back and forth here. We're going to commit in. Just going to be seeing a few more hits coming in as well. Just trying to do a little extra already. And obviously, these fights are pretty dangerous. Expecting them to be a pretty big deal breaker. Any fight right now could be very damning. There's obviously both players. Everyone's just high on supply. You know, the nuke just going to land on a sense tower there. Nothing too crazy. Slowly pushing our way forward and into these more dangerous positions as we go. You see another fight just coming straight about then. So again, coming around with that for a moment or so. Then we go right here. Just never seen these armies fighting. Nuke looking to land. The nuke on these tanks, I was going to say, is never going to land. Surely the tanks do get rid of the ghosts. So first of all, able to fend off the potential danger there. Stop that from being a concern. The rest of this bio still coming through. Vikings and Libs coming up as well. Bringing the rest of that up and online right now. Again, a few Phoenix, the Stargates coming about. Bring the rest of this in and seeing this army still settling in the center. Army in the top left of Maru going to run in and just try to get rid of a base over here. So just going to put some work in on that one too. Clean that up for the moment. Carriers coming about. Tempest are going to shoot. Siege tanks will come around. A few more Tempest shots again coming in already. I'm getting a little extra out of this. Carriers and the Tempest are going to make their way through once again. Just going to see the Bioforce fighting through. The Hellions looking to get involved. I don't know if the Hellions can do much. They may get after a few SCVs. Maru and Zaun. It's so interesting because it's like, I just really feel like Maru and Zaun are playing with the disadvantage because they're playing with the freaking... they're playing with bio instead of mech units, no? This big fight starts up. You guys can decide what's happening here. I don't really know. The carriers are dying, though, of MaxPax. I think Zaun is winning this. There are a bunch of Vikings behind this from Maru that are helping out as well. There are some Vikings of Percival finally showing up to the fight as well. Also, I mean, it's kind of a big deal. Everyone's losing a bunch of stuff here in Nuke. I'm not sure if that's going to land anywhere or not. Tanks getting lifted. There's a couple Thors on the ground. We're going to keep on pushing through. The Vikings obviously can't really help too much here. There's another nuke going into the top left-hand side this time around. So this nuke just heads to the top left, moves straight over at the moment. These Vikings, the Phoenix coming through. There's going to be another apparently. GG is going to get called. That is going to do it. We are going to see Zaun and Maru take the win in that 2v2. Wow, that's kind of a crazy...